How do you generate more spin on your serve? I'm going to share a key tip based on my experience, so listen carefully. The principle is to go from soft to hard, meaning you relax and then explode into the ball. What does this mean? Before you contact the ball, your motion should be gentle and relaxed. The entire motion is relaxed until the moment of impact, where you must accelerate sharply. Then, you must follow through with that power. Visualize it. A relaxed backswing, a relaxed approach, and then a sudden change at the point of contact. If you use full force from the backswing through contact, your motion becomes one speed and lacks acceleration. Remember, acceleration generates maximum power and spin. This is the essence of relax and accelerate. I'm just giving you a way to visualize it. Be relaxed before contact, then accelerate through the ball. This is how you maximize the friction on the ball. A common mistake I see in students is being too stiff and trying to force the spin from the start. I always tell them not to muscle it. From the backswing to just before contact, the hand should be incredibly loose. Focus on being gentle and relaxed. Second point, serve using the tip of your racket head. Now, let's have Shuai return a few serves. First, watch me serve using mostly my upper arm. Now, using my forearm. You can see there's a little more spin. Finally, using just my fingers and wrist. The ball drops short with heavy spin. Let's review. The upper arm generates almost no spin. The forearm generates some spin. The fingers and wrist generate maximum spin. So, what's the dominant part of the motion for spin? It's not your upper arm or even your forearm. It's your fingers and wrist. This small movement creates incredible racket head speed. This tiny motion is extremely fast. Therefore, to increase spin, you must focus on maximizing the speed of your wrist and finger action. Minimize the involvement of your upper arm and forearm. Many people tell me that the hook serve is difficult to learn. Honestly, this is a concept that's best learned with hands-on coaching, as you can't truly get the feel just by watching. Unless you are already at a high level, you can pick it up quickly. Beginners should not expect to master this just from watching a live stream. With in-person coaching, once you see it and have your hand guided, you immediately get the feel for the correct positioning and motion. Once you have that reference, focus entirely on how to make your racket head move the fastest. For example, grip the racket tighter with your fingers at impact, use minimal upper arm, and create an explosive snap with your wrist. How do you get more spin? Isolate the motion. Don't involve the upper arm and forearm. Let the wrist and fingers lead. By isolating these smaller joints, you achieve the fastest motion. Using the whole arm slows you down. You must separate the actions of the upper arm, forearm, and wrist to maximize the ball's rotation. Many amateur players use their entire arm in one stiff motion, which looks something like this. These are very common serves you see. Here's a drill for you. Try to immobilize your upper arm and forearm as if they were tied down. Then, try to brush the ball using only your wrist and fingers and see how much spin you get. Even with perfect-looking form, if the brushing action at contact isn't concentrated and explosive, it's ineffective. The arm's role is just for positioning and momentum. The real power for spin comes from the fingers and wrist. Now, how to serve sidespin topspin. The sidespin topspin, or corkscrew serve, is difficult but very effective. Watch how the serve can jam the opponent, making it difficult to return. I feel my sidespin topspin serve has a significant kick after the bounce. The hook serve is also sidespin topspin. It tends to have a wider arc because the biomechanics make it easier to generate that motion. Here's the principle: it's very common for amateur players' sidespin serves not to kick or jump. Most don't, only professionals consistently achieve this. Let's talk about the standard left side spin. Compared with left side spin, the hook serve motion is naturally less restricted. The standard side spin is harder because the wrist's range of motion is more restricted, making it tempting to just push the ball forward or down. If your racket moves forward through the ball, you'll only get topspin. How do you get sidespin topspin? The key is that your racket motion must have an upward component. This applies to all sidespin topspin serves, hook, backhand, or standard forehand. You must brush the ball in an upward direction to impart topspin. A serve hit with a purely forward motion can easily be pushed back. We've discussed trajectories. A forward motion creates a flat trajectory, while a downward motion creates a downward arc, or pressing, trajectory. Only an upward brushing motion creates an upward trajectory, or lifting arc. This is the secret to a good sidespin topspin serve. Your goal is to create this upward arc. Let's observe the racket path from the side. For a sidespin backspin serve, notice the ball's trajectory is downward. This is a classic pressing trajectory with a downward arc. Now for the lifting arc. I'll exaggerate the motion. See how I'm creating an upward trajectory? This is why your sidespin topspin serve might fail. You're creating a downward or forward arc, not an upward one. This results in a weak serve with little kick or spin. It becomes an easy ball for your opponent to attack in any way they choose. To master the sidespin topspin serve, you must brush upwards from the contact point. Your motion cannot be forward, which creates little spin, or downward, which creates backspin. Your forearm must lift upwards to generate sidespin topspin. This principle applies to all serves of this type, including the reverse pendulum serve. This is why players with a high contact point can't serve effective sidespin topspin. There's no room to lift the ball. Therefore, to serve good sidespin topspin, you must lower your contact point and brush upwards from a low position. How do you practice this? First, forget about getting the ball on the table. Players are often too eager to practice on the table before their motion is correct. Get the motion and the feeling of contact right first. The rest is easy. So, here's a drill. Start with your racket low and just practice brushing upwards on the ball. Start with the racket down, then lift up. Your first goal is just to feel this motion. Practice away from the table. At the table, your instinct is just to get the ball over, which ruins the new motion. You have to break your old muscle memory. Start low, and focus only on the upward brushing. Practice by serving onto the floor. This is the best way to develop the correct feeling. Just practice this way. When you return to the table, your serve might go long. That's fine. Simply adjust by making the contact slightly lower and more forward. First, practice serving on the floor, not the table. The same applies to backspin. Practice cutting down hard onto the floor. When you go to the table, the worst that can happen is it goes into the net. Then you can adjust for height and depth. But you will have already learned how to use your hand to generate heavy spin. So here is your homework: racket low, brush up. Racket low, brush up. That is your homework. Start low, brush up. Don't chop down hard. Use a light touch, focusing on a short sidespin topspin serve. Practicing at the table too early is not a good idea. It will ingrain the wrong movements. Join our membership to unlock daily exclusive shorts and discover the coach's secret tips and tricks on table tennis technique. You'll also get our weekly on-court coaching series. Silver members get even more and also unlock the exclusive weekly Coach's Corner series. Thank you for supporting the channel's growth.